All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to share a rather interesting video with you today. It's going to be a little bit on the long side, so go ahead, get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, get a slice of pizza, whatever you'd like. But I am going to show you the correct way to run, how you should be running with this simple pair of Vibrams right here. Now, truth be told, I got introduced to Vibrams in 2005. So I have been doing various amounts of barefoot running ever since 2005, when I was kind of self-diagnosed, also diagnosed by the athletic trainers over at the University of Hawaii when I was a graduate assistant with plantar fasciitis. And I asked them, how can I get rid of this? They told me that you can't. You really just got to do stem and ice or maybe some ultrasound and hope for the best. Well, I ended up going on a website, dryesus.com, and he had a whole bunch of information about barefoot running, what's really best for the feet. And his recommendation was that your feet probably suck because they've been in the wrong shoes for a really long period of time, and you should just get out there and go barefoot running. So we have at the University of Hawaii some of the most pristine grass, especially for the women's soccer practice field. I went out there, nothing but my feet, and I went for a light jog for about 10 or 12 minutes. My feet felt pretty good, I gotta be honest with you. The next day I woke up and my calf muscles were sorer than they have ever been in my entire life, and they continued to be so for about 7 to 10 days. And I kind of scratched my head. I was truly puzzled at the time, and now looking back on it, obviously the only reason why my calves were so sore is because I was not using my calves to run. Now this brings me to the footwear that we have in today's world. We have Nike Air, we have the Reebok Zigzag, we have Asics Gel, we have the Nike Shox. We have all of these types of shoes that have padding in the heel, okay? But what we truly know about running is that running with a heel strike is a braking action. And I'll get to that in a minute, okay? But first, what I want to do is show you my Vibrams, the bottom of them, okay? So we have this one right here, and I want you to look at these two digits, almost this one, kind of, okay? And then the toe. You can see we have much more wearage over here and over here, okay? Same thing with this one, okay? We have much more wearage on these two toes, okay? And then it kind of goes along to the big toe. Now, the reason why this is because our natural running form is supposed to be not only a mid-strike, a mid-foot strike, okay? But we are supposed to be landing on the pinky toe first. And what ends up happening, as illustrated by my hand, is we are gonna land with the pinky toe, and then we rotate our foot as it drops, okay, onto the ground. And then the actual running motion is what's called a paw back, okay? So with my foot on the ground now, you wanna look at it kind of maybe like a cheetah paw or a tiger or a lion, whatever you want, any type of cat, okay, even a dog. Now, with my foot on the ground like this, I am pulling on the ground underneath me, and that is what is propelling my body forward. So if I land like this with my heel, I show you in my foot and ankle pain Bible how this is actually a braking action, okay? The foot is going to slap the ground, and then you are going to have to use a lot more energy in order to paw back and move forward. When we land with our little toe, and then we rotate onto all of the toes after that, and we land midfoot, the knee is going to be far more on top of the foot than if we land like this. The knee is going to be behind. And this is one of the reasons too why you will see a lot of people who run heel toe, their glutes do not get developed. Their glutes don't develop because you're not running properly, okay? So we go back to this guy here. We can see that I'm landing, maybe even landing like right there, okay? And then I rotate and descend the rest of the toes onto the ground. And then I am going to pull back on the floor like this and pull myself through to take that next step, okay? So one of the things I want all of you runners out there to understand is that your shoes that have the quote unquote supination control are 100% BS. As human beings, we are supposed to lightly supinate, okay? You never want to get a shoe with supination control, all right? And any of you out there that are using, regular shoes with a 12, 13 degree drop to go and run long distance, if you have any type of foot, calf, knee, heel, ankle, hip, low back type of pain, I urge you to drop the drop, okay? I urge you to use something maybe like a 3 to 4 degree drop, and then eventually every once in a while run in some Vibrams like this to really get your stride going. Okay, I absolutely do not recommend going from something like, say, even if you're just, a weekend warrior, mom or dad, something like that, and you're at work all day, you get home and you're like, you know what, babe, kids, just, Papa's gonna go for a 20-minute run right now. Even if you're just running 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time and you're not really competitive, you do not want to go from a 12 to 13 degree drop to just be like, all right, CK said start wearing barefoot. You're going to shred your feet. You're going to shred your calves. It's no good. You need some sort of a method or periodization in order to get you there. And that's why I recommend something like a CrossFit shoe. If you're using just like a regular New Balance right now, that's 12 degrees. Get in something like a CrossFit shoe that's like 3-4 degrees. And I want you to use that for probably 3 to 6 months. Okay, and then you can start sprinkling in stuff with a Vibram. All right, and it doesn't matter if it's sprinting. I would start off with maybe some sprints. Maybe you could even do something like sled pushes, so it's a little bit more low impact than actual running, or maybe even some sled drags to condition the feet. That would be great, all right? But you don't want to go from a 12 degree drop to a Vibram or a barefoot shoe, okay? And then after that, when your stride, when your foot strike starts to develop, when your kinetic chain, meaning the foot muscles, the calf muscles, the hamstring quads, and the glutes, when they start to develop and get that proper running economy underneath them, then you can transition to whatever shoe you feel the most efficient in, okay? But really, you got foot pain, you got ankle pain, calf, knee, hamstring, anything in that kinetic chain in the leg, you gotta look at the shoes first, okay? And then you have to look at how you are actually running. So I hope this helps, and hit me up with any questions, or if you think this is total BS. Love, light, and aloha.